Hi guys, it's Thomas here from COTBase.com. Welcome to a weekly COT review. Today we're going to be analyzing the 47th Commitments of Traders Report of 2024. And as we usually do, we are analyzing the classic COT report type, or as CFTC calls it, legacy COT report. Futures and options combined. We have two different data types that CFTC compiles and issues on a weekly basis. However, at COTBase.com, we actually came up with the options only data type as well, something unique. The reason we're analyzing the classic COT report type is it has the longest history of COT data. But if you wish, you can move over to disaggregated traders and financial futures or commodity index traders COT report types as well. Let's get started. We have, as you can see, feeder cattle on top of our list when we order markets based on the largest change in commercials net positions based on a 52-week look back period. We've got, of course, commercials, large speculators, and small speculators. One might ask, why are we always looking at commercials? Well, in my opinion, commercials have the most knowledge of markets. They are in the business. So feeder cattle commercials are probably those who are selling feeder cattle or could be buying for their specific business purposes. Whereas large speculators, and non-reportables, or as we like to call them, small speculators, are probably there just to make some money off movements of the price. Well, I should put beside this another important fact when it comes to livestock, that in case of livestock, a lot of commercial participants do not reach the reporting limits of CFTC, which puts them into the non-reportables category. So it's interesting to see with livestock markets, the correlation between commercials and small speculators. Usually the correlation is more closer to each other for large and small speculators. Anyways, back to feeder cattle, 20% change, put it on the top of our list. Here you go. You can see the change size being definitely much greater than average, possibly the top 5. And what's good to see is that we have a rise in feeder cattle prices when we get this bearish COT change signal. So that's bearish. But moving on to a 5-year chart, we can analyze stresses in the traders' net positions. And you can see that this is a bearish COT extreme signal as well. Okay, so it doesn't have to, commercials don't necessarily have to go down to net short territories that much. And the reason I'm saying this is if you go back to March of this year, that was actually a good example of a bearish COT extreme being successful, pushing the market lower. Also, just before this top for quite some time, and that's something that we need to keep in mind all the time, that COT extreme analysis is not necessarily that easy. We can have a situation when the bearish stress is in the market for many weeks, month before the market actually reacts. So, but we have a bearish COT change signal, bearish extreme at a close to an important resistance level. So that's that. But moving on to Euro, where we have the exact same change when it comes to percentage terms, of course, 20% change. But here we are talking about a bullish COT change signal, suggesting that we may see a bit of a rise early next week. Now, going into the data itself, you can see, well, we had a larger than average change a couple times. But most of them were unsuccessful, with the exception of this one back in report date October 21st was issued 27th. So that was, I'd say, a successful bullish COT change signal, but you may see that there's a dynamic downwards trend in the euro. I would also put it out there that when it comes to currencies, I would argue it's important to analyze the other side of the currency pair, which of course in this case is the dollar, and we will be talking about the dollar shortly. Moving to a 5-year chart, we can see that not only do we have a bullish change signal, but the COT extreme is bullish as well. So this argues that we could see the euro rise in the next, well, possibly next few days if we believe the COT change signal. And when it comes to stress level analysis, that has a more longer term effect. So it could be weeks, month before we see that reaction from the market. I should point out at this point in time of the video that we have some amazing Black November deals going on this month, giving you amazing deals on our most popular memberships. And if you're new to COT analysis, please visit us and learn. We have a lot of educational material, not only in written format, but we have some very useful videos as well. And we are here for you. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment underneath the video or send us an email to info@cotbase.com. Moving on to crude oil, Brent crude oil. Here we have a 17% change in commercials net positions. Let's move to the 1-year chart. And there you go. You can see the size from previous week to this week. And you can come to the conclusion that this is not necessarily a change signal to act upon. I would argue this is not very significant. I would just pass on it, honestly. Moving to the 5-year chart would give us kind of the same result. Nothing too exciting when it comes to stress level analysis. So it's one of those markets. We don't always see an opportunity. However, if you would definitely like to trade crude oil, then I would say, even if there's not any signal from the classic COT report issued by CFTC, we do have some wonderful indicators that we developed after many years of research. The iCOT Intraday Indicators, it's got the basic and the AfterSignal version. This is a unique indicator bringing you COT analysis into the shorter time frames, intraday time frames. So this is gold on a 1-minute candlestick chart, and on this chart you can see the different type of signals. These are scores lines. We can call them COT charts just for sake of ease because we understand COT analysis, but they are not data from CFTC. This is our own unique indicator providing these score lines, but they are very, very effective, and I think they work fabulously in conjunction with classic COT analysis. A lot of amazing signals and short time frames as well. Something you should try. And by the way, we have some amazing deals right now, so you can grab this indicator at a much better price. Moving on to large speculators COT Extreme analysis. We've got livestock complex on top of our list. That's something unique for our subscribers. We combine individual markets. So in case of livestock, this is live cattle, feeder cattle, lean hogs into one complex COT chart. Dollar index is the next market on our list with 192 report extreme and large speculators net positions. And you can see on this chart that we are actually talking about a bullish COT extreme when you compare the past 5 years of data. Now we have seen greater extremes. That was a very, very successful signal back over here in 2021 at lows in the dollar index. But now you can see that the dollar is actually rising, and this is combined with a more bullish picture from the COT report. So, that's interesting because we've got the euro showing a more bullish picture, the dollar index showing a more bullish picture. So, well, price is telling us the dollar is winning at the moment. So interesting stuff over here. Feeder cattle we talked about. Let's close off with the New Zealand dollar. This is going to be the last market for this review. So the New Zealand dollar, here we have a 50 report extreme. What that means is 50 reports ago, boom, there we go. That's where we had a similar stress in the market. With in the case of the New Zealand dollar, you can see how well it's the amplitude in which traders are shifting their positions. You can see some beautiful examples of bullish COT extremes being successful. Of course, there are some bearish extremes as well. It's interesting how dynamically traders in the New Zealand dollar are shifting their net positions, right? So anyways, this is a bullish extreme, coinciding with what we have witnessed in the euro. So there's definitely some major stress buildup in these currencies. So quite interesting. I would argue that the report in itself is a huge advantage. But if you combine it with our own iCOT Intraday Indicator, I think you may find it quite valuable in that way. Anyways, that is going to be all for this review. But here at COTBase.com, of course, we offer all the tools necessary to go deep and analyze these reports. We talked about the New Zealand dollar. You can actually go into the data itself and analyze anything you are interested in. Very, very deep way of analysis offered here at COTBase.com. And if you have any questions, once again, we're here to help you. If you liked the video, please hit the like button. If you have not yet subscribed, consider subscribing. It would mean the world to us. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend. Take care. Goodbye.